You speak of wanting your mind to relax, but what do you mean by that? Do you think relaxation is found in the same place where the world searches for it? In noise, in distraction, in the endless chase of entertainment and comfort? No, that kind of rest is counterfeit. It numbs for a moment and then demands more of you, leaving you emptier than before. The relaxation you truly need is not the dull silence of escape. It is the stillness that comes when your heart is no longer at war with itself. Look at the way we live. We wake to alarms that demand attention before our eyes even open fully. We scroll through the chaos of other people's lives before we've even considered the condition of our own souls. We fill every gap of quiet with a sound, music, news, chatter, anything so that we don't have to face the echo of our own thoughts. We are terrified of silence because silence reveals truth, and truth is a light that burns when we've grown used to the dark. You want to relax your mind, then first, stop believing that relaxation is the absence of struggle. The mind is like a field. If you leave it untended, weeds will grow, and many people mistake the overgrowth of distraction for peace. But true peace is the calm that exists even when the storm still roars around you. It's not the absence of trouble. It's the presence of clarity. You cannot have a relaxed mind while feeding it with poison. You cannot expect tranquility while filling yourself daily with fear, comparison, and pride. Every image you chase, every opinion you absorb, every trivial thing that steals your attention, each of them takes a portion of your strength. You wonder why you are anxious, why your thoughts run wild at night. It's because you've spent all day training them to do so. You've taught your mind to crave noise. You've trained your emotions to panic when nothing is happening. And now you call it restlessness when it's really addiction. There is a narrow road that leads to rest. It begins with honesty. The moment you stop pretending that busyness equals importance, that distraction equals productivity, that scrolling equals connection, then you can start the journey toward peace. But that journey begins in the place you least want to go, inward. Inside you are layers of voices: regret, ambition, fear, desire. They shout at each other all day long, demanding your attention. You think you are your thoughts, but you are not. You are the one listening to them. And you cannot silence them by shouting louder. You silence them by knowing which one to listen to. There is a voice that calls you to stillness. It does not flatter you. It does not entertain you. It tells you truth. The more you obey it, the quieter the others become. But understand this: relaxation of the mind is not something you stumble into. It is fought for. It is cultivated like a garden. It's built on discipline, the kind of discipline that says no to the instant comfort of distraction, so that you can have the lasting strength of peace. Do not think peace is for the weak. It is for warriors who have learned to master themselves. Some of you think, I cannot help my thoughts. They are just there. But who told you that lie? You can guide your thoughts as surely as a captain steers a ship through a storm. The waves are real, yes, but so is the rudder. You can set the direction of your attention, and where your attention goes, your energy follows. So if your mind is always exhausted, maybe it's because you've been steering toward chaos. There's a strange comfort in anxiety because it gives us the illusion of control. If we worry about everything, we think we're managing it. But worry is just fear dressed as responsibility. You cannot relax your mind while trying to control everything you cannot control. Release what is not yours to hold. There are things that will happen regardless of your sleepless nights. There are outcomes that will not bend to your pressure. Surrender those. Only then can your mind unclench. When you begin to slow down, you will feel resistance. Your thoughts will scream, do something, fix something, check something, ignore them, Stillness feels like death to an undisciplined mind, but if you endure that silence long enough, you'll find that what you thought was death is actually life returning. Many people talk about self-care, about rest, about relaxation, but they treat it like indulgence. They want to pamper the body while starving the soul. True relaxation is the opposite. It begins with the soul at rest, and from there the body follows. When your conscience is clear, your breath is calm. When your values are aligned, your sleep is deep. But if your heart is conflicted, no mattress or vacation or meditation app can save you. You will carry unrest wherever you go, because unrest is not in the environment. It is in you. Look at the world, billions of people running faster and faster, not because they know where they're going, but because they're afraid of standing still. If they stop, they might realize how empty the race has become. And yet stillness is not failure, it's awareness. When you stop running, you finally see what was chasing you all along. The mind relaxes when truth rules it, not comfort, truth, because comfort without truth is only sedation, and sedation is not healing. If your mind is restless, it is because it is divided, and a divided mind cannot rest. It says one thing, feels another, does a third. You tell yourself you value peace, but then you fill your schedule with chaos. You say you want simplicity, but you chase what complicates your life. That contradiction is the root of exhaustion. To relax the mind, unite it under one purpose, to live honestly, to see things as they are, to accept what cannot be changed and act on what can. That is not passivity, it's power rightly focused. The strongest river is not the one that floods everywhere, it's the one that flows in a single direction. So direct your thoughts toward what matters. Every moment you spend feeding your fears is a moment stolen from your peace. Do you want rest? Then make room for it. Stop scheduling every hour as if you were immortal. Stop pretending your worth is measured by your productivity. Stop expecting your mind to rest while you treat it like a machine. You were not designed for endless motion. You were designed for meaning. And when meaning is lost, fatigue takes its place. The mind finds rest not in emptiness but in alignment. When your actions agree with your convictions, when your words match your intentions, when your desires are purified of greed and envy, then peace naturally flows. That's why you cannot fake relaxation. You can fake a smile, you can fake confidence, but you cannot fake peace. The soul knows when it's lying to itself. You speak of rest as if it were a thing to stumble upon, as if it were hidden behind some comfortable chair, some soft cushion, some endless distraction that promises reprieve. But you have been lied to. The world whispers, rest here, relax here, escape for a moment, and you obey because the voice is sweet, but true relaxation of the mind does not come through escape, it comes through alignment. It comes when your thoughts, your actions, and your values are pointed in the same direction, when your heart ceases its rebellion, and your mind stops its endless warfare with itself. Consider how your day unfolds. From the moment your eyes open, the world presses upon you, alerts, messages, tasks, demands, the incessant pull of others' priorities. Your mind spins like a wheel in mud. You are exhausted before you even start because you are living unaligned. Your inner life cries for rest, yet your outer life is full of dissonance. You chase what does not satisfy. You argue with what is unavoidable. You pretend to care about things that matter little. And all the while you wonder why your mind cannot stop racing. Alignment is the cure, but alignment requires courage. It requires seeing the truth of who you are and what matters to you, then daring to act accordingly. Think for a moment of the mind as a vast, turbulent ocean. Waves rise and fall, storms rage, and the currents are treacherous. To find rest on that sea, You do not flee to a sheltered cove or drift aimlessly. You learn the winds, you chart your course, you steer with intent. Alignment is the rudder of your life. Without it, you are at the mercy of every passing emotion, every demand, every fear. With it, even in the midst of turbulence, there is a center that is still. The chaos of the world no longer dictates the state of your mind because your inner compass has been set, and you follow it unwaveringly. And yet, alignment is not automatic. You cannot hope for it while feeding your mind with deception. Every lie you tell yourself, I'm too busy to think, I deserve this distraction, I will deal with truth later, these lies are anchors that drag your soul into unrest. True relaxation is impossible while the mind is divided, while you are torn between what you know is right and what you choose to indulge. Every moment of avoidance, every moment spent on comfort at the expense of truth, creates a tension that will not be silenced by sleep, entertainment, or idle escape. The mind knows, the soul knows, and until alignment is pursued with brutal honesty, the mind remains a battlefield. Ask yourself, then, what are your values? What do you truly care about? What principles guide your actions? Many people do not know because they have never paused to reflect. They float on the current of culture, of obligation, of habit. But rest comes when the currents stop pulling you in all directions. It comes when your actions match your convictions, when your daily life reflects your deepest truths. This is alignment. This is the fertile soil in which relaxation grows. Without it, you may find temporary relief in distractions, but it is a mirage. It evaporates as soon as the mind turns inward. Observe how often people flee from themselves. They fill their schedules, scroll endlessly, immerse in noise, or seek pleasure in every possible form, all to avoid the confrontation with their own thoughts. Yet it is precisely in that confrontation that rest is born. When you sit with your conscience, when you face the questions of your own heart, when you wrestle with your values and act on them, then the waves settle. You discover that what you feared was chaos was simply misalignment. You find that what you thought was pressure was the mind crying out for unity. Consider also the role of courage in alignment. It is easier to remain distracted, to keep your mind occupied, to chase the trivial, than it is to examine your heart. And yet, only in that examination will you find clarity. True relaxation requires bravery. You must confront your weaknesses, your sins, your errors, and your fears. You must name the lies you have believed and the illusions you have cherished. And you must be willing to make changes that are uncomfortable, that may cost you social approval, time, or convenience. Alignment is not for the faint of heart. It is a rigorous path demanding constant vigilance, but it delivers a peace that no escape ever can. And what of the relentless demands of life? How can one speak of alignment when the world is unrelenting, when chaos seems to surround every step? This is the test of true relaxation. It is not found in the absence of difficulty. It is found in the ability to remain firm when everything seeks to pull you apart. The aligned mind knows what is essential and refuses to surrender it to distraction. The aligned mind sees each challenge as a chance to exercise discipline and integrity rather than a reason for panic. In this, the mind finds rest, not because the storm has ceased, but because the inner compass is steady. Many people mistake busyness for purpose. They assume that exhaustion equals achievement, but exhaustion without alignment is suffering, not growth. Every obligation you fulfill without consideration of your values drains your mind. Every indulgence you pursue without reflection steals your peace. And yet, when actions are guided by alignment, even the busiest life becomes bearable. Every task has meaning. Every challenge has purpose. Every moment of effort, instead of leaving you restless, reinforces your inner order. This is the paradox. True relaxation comes not from avoidance, but from focused engagement with what matters.